Alright guys, so today I'll be trying to explain the fossil species that we find in Minecraft. So I'm gonna almost instantly start with the most, well, I guess the most common, but also like the main species, which what I'm calling is Titanosiomamus. It's basically a giant. Now this is around the size of a giant, maybe a little larger. But this is basically a skeleton one. Its rib is, is only like 3 long. Then, of course, you got this, and then that. And, this is kind of like a, more skeletized head, I guess, or a ghast. So this is the primary species. We have seen these. Likely an ancestor of that. Yeah, it's likely an ancestor of zombies. Now, you could also say it could be a ancestor to skeletons, but seem to exist as if these species probably perished, because if they could turn into skeletons, they would have, most likely. Okay, that's them. They're pretty interesting. I'd say that they're one of the more common genuses, and they're probably the main species that you'd find. We do know that they did exist, and basically what they looked like, because they were in the game. They're essentially a zombie, 6 times larger. However, we're not entirely sure how they go extinct. We only find the fossils in deserts and swamps, meaning that they either died of dehydration or they drowned in a swamp. So it's really hard to say. Again, we're not entirely sure. Maybe they aren't extinct. That could be another one. Recently we saw the giant AI come back in one of the snapshots, so maybe that could be a hint that maybe they're bringing them back, just for fun or something. Oh, but that is the main genus. That's Titanosiomamus, and then we'll talk about the major subspecies. This is the Cyclopes. So these are by far the largest creatures, and they're kind of interesting because their heads do not match their vertebra. Their vertebra is huge. These things are massive. These things would probably be a world destroyer, honestly. They're huge. Take this probably times 2. They're gigantic. They have a pretty small head, but a huge body. I mean, they are fat. I think I'll try basically going, but yeah, basically, here's what their spinal cord kind of looks like. I'm pretty sure it's either like that or, yeah, these things are massive. Yeah, it's something like that, or yeah, I'm pretty sure it's something like this. Either or really works, but yeah, these creatures were massive. They're by far probably the largest species of giant. And yeah, I imagine that they probably died thanks to their single eye, and also likely they're too big to sustain themselves. Now, we do see some modern cyclopses. So, first off, we got the cat. Now, in case you're not seeing it, there's a little black thing in the middle. Basically, look at the eyes. Don't look at one eye, look at both, and see how they match up. They match up really interesting. It turns them into a cyclops. This as well. This, tuxedo and panther cat. So this has it too. And now the guardian, pretty common. So we could assume that, either these things took to the oceans, or they were created by something. Because Guardians were likely created by something, of course. Now, I'm pretty sure that there's no other really, like, single-eyed creature. There probably is, but of course those are the most common ones. Now, we've never seen these ones in the wild. They obviously have never been made. They probably won't be made. But I'm kind of thinking that the giant may be brought back as like a mob that you can spawn in, but like you can't naturally find them. Because they're overpowered. They're like, they can run super fast, they can burn, well, they burn during the day, of course. Which actually could have been another thing to their downside. Likely the world started getting more sun, and then the giants basically burned off. Like, the giants that, like, walked into, swamps or died from in the desert, basically, they likely the world used to be far darker and rarely ever sunlight, and they probably ended up dying off. Could be a reason they went extinct, maybe. I don't know. It's really hard to say. For sure, the Cyclops, that thing probably died from, I guess, what you call the sun mass extinction. And here's just another skeleton. But yeah, basically, all these species are likely extinct. The giant still exists on some editions, Java for sure. They recently brought the AI back, so that could be a hope for the giant. Of course, not always, but it could be a good hope that the giant may become unextinct. But by far what we know is that this species has been extinct for a pretty good while. Definitely an ancient creature of Minecraft. Well, thanks for watching. Please leave a like on the video, and peace.